Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of August 9th through the 15th. And during that time, we first have the waning crescent moon, and that is a time of calm and stability when we're thinking about the cycle that we've just come through. Did those things work out? We're going to self-reflect on what worked out and that we started on the last new moon, and did it work? Good. Let's put it to bed. Let's start something else because the next new moon approaches on the 12th or the 13th. Or did some things not work out and you need to kind of restructure things and then try again on this next new moon? So, of course, the new moon is about a fresh start, new beginnings, a good time to start new projects or skills, things that are inner or outer that you want to be working on. But it's just a good time to kind of evaluate the first part of the week and then set those things in motion for the second part. Anyway, to keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Scorpio. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't here on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is a fiery climax approaches. All right, let's see what the Scorpio collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling the tarot, usually I have a fun weekly reminder that I talk about at this time, but this week I need your help on something. I am thinking about doing the occasional live stream, and this would maybe start in the next couple of months after summer's over. I'm looking forward to the fall season, and I know that the nights are a little colder and darker, and I'm inside more. So I was thinking I might do some live streams occasionally. My question for you is there a day of the week that is better for you for live streams? Do you find that you're bored on a Wednesday night and looking for something, or maybe sometime on the weekend? So, and also which time of day? So, which time zone are you in? So, if you could just drop in the comments for me, which day and time you think would be the best and your time zone, so I know kind of where you're coming from. I can start to gather that information and I'll know when best to be able to reach all of you during a live stream. And I would probably just do live readings, maybe a question here and there, but please drop me a comment down there. And thank you so much for your help with this. I really do appreciate it. So, all right, without further ado, let's get into this reading. Scorpio, August 9th through the 15th, a fiery climax approaches. Oh, and we get the Lovers card. Very interesting. So, what is going on? Is this positive in the climax area or negative? And we'll see. Is there something coming together? For some of you, this could be meeting someone new. So, of course, you've got that just fire, just passion explodes, right? For some of you, it could be some sort of conflict that's maybe coming up. We'll see as the cards come out. I hope it's not the latter, but we'll see as things come out. But Lover's card comes right up with this full moon in Aries card that is popping up here for us. So your current situation with this is enjoying the fruits of your labor. So I hope that means within this relationship that you've put in the time and energy to just enjoy each other and enjoy the fruits of the labor of this relationship, whatever that has been. You've put the time in and you're just kind of enjoying each other. And I think that's great. I think that's a great way to start this out. When I first pulled that card, I was like, oh, what's happening here? But at the root of your situation is the Wheel of Fortune. So I'm liking this so far. I was getting a little nervous at first, but Lover's card, enjoying fruits of your labor, Wheel of Fortune. For some of you, this is maybe the fiery climax of a weekend together where where the Wheel of Fortune, and it changes your life. Maybe you learn how to communicate better, you learn how to be better with each other, and I think that's really good. So, well, that's pretty fiery, I guess it can be. Maybe you just have really deep, intense discussions about a way of life that you want to both, some path that you both want to be on, and it makes you better for it. So you're going to move forward in a positive way. In your recent past, here is the Temperance card. So you move into this already being very well balanced. And I know she's not a two, and neither are the Lovers, but I just see, when I see all these twos popping up with her two cups and the two people in this card, it makes me think of twos, which is, twos are kind of our coming together card. So yeah, I just think that's great. So you come into this with a really calm, balanced attitude. You're enjoying the fruits of your labor. You're ready for Wheel of Fortune, which has just changed. Life changes every day and things evolve. And you're kind of doing that as a couple together, and I think that's really great. What's on your mind this week is another two. I was just talking about the twos with some sort of indecision. So you might be really thinking something through, and maybe you're doing that as a couple. This could be, big decisions are always on the horizon when you're in a couplehood like this. So if you're very young, it could be, are we thinking about getting engaged? Are we thinking about getting married? Are we making those kind of steps? Are we thinking about parenthood? Are we thinking about where we're going to live? Those big decisions that are coming in. If you're older, you're thinking about, what's going on with our kids and what decisions will we make about, how we spend our time all the time. Are we going on vacation this year? Those kinds of decisions that you make as a couple. Or as you get older, what are we going to do during our retirement? So you're making those kind of, at decision points here, it looks like, with things like that are kind of big life decisions that you're making together, because they affect both of you. I hope that made sense. That was a lot of words for that. What is just ahead of you this week is the Hierophant. So maybe this is what the Hierophant is about: seeking out guidance for these types of things. And that could be why you're at a tarot reading right now. That you're like, look, some things are going on, and we are making decisions and coming together. Maybe, fiery climax doesn't have to be negative. It can be that you're just fiery and passionate about the things that you're deciding, and you both have really fiery opinions, Scorpio, you guys tend to be very intense anyway, and maybe your partner is as well, and it just becomes fiery, but in a good way, but you're seeking out some sort of guidance ahead of you this week. Again, maybe that's why you're at a tarot reading. You might be reading books. This could be like spiritual decisions that you're making too. How you want to live your life in that way together, and those are great decisions to be made together as well. In your advice position here is the World card. Lots of major arcana here. Look, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana. So this is kind of a major transformation for you this week, Scorpio, when it comes, and it's within your couplehood. Again, that you're making really big life decisions on how to be. On the World card is about perfect balance, and so the advice is to do this in a way that's very balanced. Look at the Temperance card. You know, um, the World card reminds me also of this Wheel of Fortune card. It's just that the world is your oyster. And it changes. Every day can be a little bit different, right? And things can happen that change your world. It happens a lot. Think about your own life. The things that just happen on a dime, like the Wheel of Fortune card, something that happens so quickly, and it's like, oh, your life's a little bit different now. Those things are happening daily. But the World card is to really think about the big picture. This is also the very last card in the major arcana as the Fool goes through his journey of the major arcana. And this is just perfect balance. This is getting to that place where you're happy about the decisions that you've made, and how your life is every morning. You wake up and you do feel balanced. And that you've created something that gets you to this feeling, and it's something that you're doing together. So that's awesome too. What is beyond your control this week is the Star card. Wow, look at these. Another card of two, like the Temperance card. She's, scooping or pouring out some emotion here onto dry land, right? The Star card it's about what is your direction? What is written in the stars for you, and knowing, kind of feeling that you're on the right path when it comes to that. And that's beyond your control. You are feeling that this week, that you're on the right path, that things are going well. Maybe there's just no blocks in the road right now, and everything's kind of just green light go. And that's a great place to be. I mean, you also need to, what is it, the saying to, hope for the best, but also prepare for the worst. So make sure you're making, those, being smart about preparing for when things go awry, because they always do. And that's also how we learn spiritually. So, but it's beyond your control this week to just feel like you're on course, and you're just moving in the right direction, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be, which I love that. I think that's really awesome. All right. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? King of Cups, which is about really just emotional stability. Really having an understanding about your own emotions, but also the people around you. I certainly hope that's your secret desire. I would hope that's not something you're trying to avoid, but and that just comes through good conversation, good back and forth exchanges of, what does everybody want? And then move forward in the way that gets you there. So, what is in your outcome this week? Is the Page of Cups, which is really just being very open emotionally and having a really good sense of humor. I love this reading. I was a little afraid, Scorpio, when I pulled out this fiery climax, but I feel like this is just really passionate discussion back and forth about how you want to move forward in life. What kind of people do you want to be? What kind of couple do you want to be? And those are really fun and interesting decisions to make at no matter what stage of your relationship that you are in. So I think that's pretty awesome. What is hidden from you is judgment. So we're not going to judge each other. We're going to let these things throw out. Let things come out and let things be open. Throw everything on the table. Literally like a tarot reading. Throw it all on the table. What does everybody want? And then start picking and choosing. And this fiery climax seems like it could be something that's just exciting. It's like the turning of a new page, and really welcoming new things that kind of make your life feel different tomorrow than it was today. All right, let's get you a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message for Scorpio as they go through this kind of transformation, I feel like, with your partner, which is nice. I mean, I think it's a positive transformation. It's not negative at all. All right. Soul Oracle deck says, love your spirit. Love your spirit. And what are those things? What are the things that drive you? And what are the things that your soul really wants out of life? That's sometimes we're just not asking those questions often enough, and we're just kind of plodding through day to day, like, I'm gonna get through this thing, that thing. But what is the big picture? Sometimes you do have to stop and look at those big picture things. All right, what does Scorpio need to do in the way of self-care this week? Self-care for Scorpio this week. And the card that you get is the card that says priorities, which I would have never pulled that out of any of these other cards. I feel like you're making plans, but maybe priorities, I guess, would be a big part of that. The quality of your life is determined by how you spend your time. Make sure your schedule reflects the life you want. Actually, that's the perfect card, because that's really what this is. It's about coming together with each other, enjoying the fruits of your labor, but also, like, how do you want to live every day? Make sure your schedule reflects the life that you want. Sometimes it doesn't. We let other things get in the way. Other readings this week, it's kind of come to mind that social media is kind of on everybody's mind. Is that the way you want to live your life? Is doom scrolling? Sometimes not. And if it's not, what are those things that you'll replace it with, especially as a couple? What are things that you can go do that aren't really just spent on the internet and engaged in some sort of electronics things? I say that as I'm making a video for you, but I understand that. But these kind of videos you can also listen to while you're doing something else. I find that very helpful when I'm listening to things myself. Anyway, Scorpio, I wish you the best of luck. I hope you get this figured out with your partner. I think it's very exciting. What is your life? What is it that you want to change about it? And does your schedule reflect that and support that? So thank you so much for being here. I hope there's something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way in your life this week. Again, if you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down below. Let me know what's going on with you. We can kind of see if other Scorpios want to compare notes, see if you guys are kind of going through the same things out there. Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe is so helpful to me. I appreciate that so much. So if you've already done it, thank you. And if you're about to, thank you as well. So good luck with that. It'll help you find me next week, where you can come back and we can see where your story goes. So thanks, Scorpio, for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.